juice, keep me rolling juice.
Welcome back for day 2 of Vlogmas, and today I am going to be showing you how I get my booth ready for events and my latest project that I am so proud of, which is my first ever advent calendar that I made specially for my salon and for the Christmas period. So here I am at the grand event just setting up my booth. How you get into events varies, but most of the time it is by applying for them. So you have to apply for the event, and then once you are accepted, there are each booths. Like you can see the booth on side of me, it has a cover on it with like the brand's logo, and it's called a payment wall basically. And once you get accepted, you come to the wall and you click it and pay for your booth, and then you can start setting up. That tends to happen for every event. But the thing about events is your spot is not guaranteed every single month. So regardless of whether you're a regular, sponsor, mega sponsor, you have to apply every single time for the event. So that's what I did. This is currently the November round. The event opens on the 26th of every month. I'm just getting my booth ready and sorted for the opening time. I've made an advent calendar like I mentioned, and normally when I set up my booths, I have 6 squares, or sometimes I have like no, I always have 6 squares. I'll have 6 squares and I'll have vendors in each of them. Tends to be either like my beauty animations, makeup, nails, whatever that I'm deciding to sell for the event, I'll put them in each of the squares. But because the advent calendar is just one item, I placed a large placeholder over the top of them and took away the 6 squares because you do get a prim count. Depending on the booth that you have, and for regular booths at the grand it's 100 prim, so I was trying not to go over the limit. My booth is quite a lot, like quite prim heavy, because it has a lot of detail and effects and all of that type of stuff. I had to make sure I reduced the prims so it's not going over or anything like that. So my booth is inspired by my service. So I have these 2 mannequins sitting at the table, a bit like a beautician and a client about to, start their service or have a consultation. My store wasn't like event based. I didn't really make it for the sole purpose of being in events. I made it more so for my role play service. So when I did start doing events, I wanted to have that be a representation in my booth, and I feel like I captured that really well with it. So now we're on to actually constructing the advent calendar. My initial idea was to have 25 days with different prizes in each box, and I was going to put them in this really cute heart box with the ribbon on it, and like every time they clicked on it, it would open and the gift would come out. But realistically, I did not have the time to do that. So very quickly I decided that, you know what, I'm just going to do 12 days instead of 25. Let me not do too much, like let me not give myself too much to do. I did originally have a whole completely different idea that I wanted to release for this round, but then I just had a little conversation with one of my colleagues in real life, and she was talking about an advent calendar that she received from the TikTok shop, and it just gave me an idea to do an advent calendar on SL, and so that's what I just decided to do. So this isn't the original design that I went for, but this is just the practicing stages. I just needed to figure out the layout of everything because I was going to be scripting this myself. I checked on Marketplace if there was any scripts for advent calendars already. There is one script, but it didn't really do what I wanted my advent calendar to particularly do, and so I went on the quest of making my own. I used LSL scripting, which stands for Linden Scripting Language. It's the coding system we use in Second Life to make objects interactive and functional. If you're new to scripting, think of it as giving instructions to your objects so they can perform certain tasks, like giving gifts when someone clicks a specific day for like this advent calendar. I started by building the main base of the calendar by using prims, and I used the Firestorm viewer, so you don't always have to use like Blender and things like that. There's so many resources on Marketplace that you can use, all you need to search for is like full permission items that you're able to modify, copy and transfer. And with those items you can literally do a lot. Of course, like with Blender, you can add more dimension to the item, you can even make it animate and things like that. But you can also do that with scripting in Second Life in the viewer, but that takes a lot of like time and knowledge. Because ribbons and bows are really on trend right now, I decided to make the advent calendar kind of like a big ribbon, like a present box kind of. So I found this really cute ribbon texture on Google and I added it to the very center line and the line going across, so that it looks like it's being tied, like the box is being tied around. So I really wanted to make it simple, but then at the same time make it worthwhile, like make it look like something that you would want to have hanging up on your wall or resting on your table. I didn't want it to be an eyesore or one of those things that people only bring out to receive their gifts. I wanted it to stay. So now that I had the pattern of everything sorted out, I put a ribbon on each of the doors, and now I'm just testing out these scripts. I wrote the LSL code to make each button of the advent calendar respond when it's clicked or touched. For example, when somebody clicks a specific day, the script will check if that is the right day, then it will deliver them the gift that is within it. I also added conditions to make sure that the gifts could only be accessed on or after their unlocked date, keeping the calendar experience realistic and exciting. Scripting can feel a bit intimidating at first, but once you understand the basics, it's really rewarding to see your creations come to life. For this project, I focused on keeping the coding efficient and user-friendly. It's all about creating an enjoyable experience for everyone who uses it. It's really fun and like cool to see like your ideas come to life, or like making objects come to life. Even the simplest things like clicking it and receiving a gift, like that is so nice to be able to do, especially for business owners who want to give out free gifts or anything interactive. It doesn't even have to be for a business owner. If you're somebody who's like setting up a party for your kids and you want to give out like gift bags or goodie items or little toys for the kids to take home, they can click on the object and receive it. I mentioned as well that like there's so many resources on Marketplace, because genuinely that's how I learned the basics of scripting, is from like, it's very, very simple as well. Like with Marketplace, you can really and truly, all you need to really search is whatever you're looking for and then script at the end of it. So if you are a business owner and you want to set up a group gift for your business, all you need to search is group gift script. It's really that simple, I promise you, and you will find a plethora of scripts, and they are very, very inexpensive. You can find one for as low as like 5 lindens, even lower sometimes. So there are a lot of resources that you can use. For my scripts, I wanted them to do very specific things, like give out the gifts only on a certain day after a certain time. So I needed a 24-hour timer. I needed there to be a message in the nearby chat if like the user tried to click on day 7 when they needed to claim their day 2 gift. I wanted it to be personal and customized, so I wanted there to be a story line for every day. There'll be a brief part of the story to be revealed in the nearby chat. And I also wanted the gifts to be given to the user only once in the day, and they can only claim the gift, all of the gifts again, after they have completed the 12 days. So if, for example, they get day 1 and they've accepted it into their inventory, they can't click day 1 again. They have to wait until they finish 12 days to do that. And I also wanted to add items from not just my store, but from some of my beautician store. So I added those items to it too. I just wanted my advent calendar to be very personal and very customized for the stamped experience, because that is what I pride my business in, the customer service and the interaction. Just creating a graphic for the background of where the advent calendar is hanging up in my booth, because I didn't want to have too many prims rows out, because like I mentioned with the prim count, I wanted to put it on the actual graphic so that it's not, like I mentioned, too many prims and everything like that. So that's what I'm doing here, just making that really quickly so that I can add it to my booth, so that anybody that is interested in purchasing the advent calendar can just know exactly where to click and where to buy. Okay, so now I've placed it in world, and there you go. It's nice and clear. It shows where they can buy it and also has the name of it too, so that they know what they are buying. It also has a display one as well. What I wanted to add to my booth is like speech bubbles for each of the mannequins to have. So the speech bubble that I'm resin out is where anybody that wants to join the group or interact with the display advent calendar, they can click on one of the bubbles, or give them the link to join the Dream Girl stamped group. That way they're able to interact with the display advent calendar that is placed on the booth wall, and they can also just join the group for any information about walk-in hours, new releases, and anything like that. They can join. So this is what it looks like. I was so happy with everything and how it turned out. And this is my alt account, Dream Girl Stamp. She looks just like the mannequins in the booth, like a futuristic robot diva kind of girl. That's the vibe that I was going for with the account. Now I'm just testing the display advent calendar and placing a new item in there. So when, like I mentioned, when people join the Dream Girl Stamped group, they will be able to claim the item from there, and also just kind of see what the advent calendar does and the effects that it has. So now I'm about to take my ad picture for posting on Instagram. Whenever I make a item that is like a physical product, like when I was sold my lash pillow, for example, or anything like that, I try to get an image of what it actually looks like in world, rather than like an edited version, like how I display my nails, for example. I use either an AI hand picture or a real life hand picture and just edit my nails into the appropriate spaces for them. But for something like this, I actually like to physically take the picture of it, so that it gives the exact real view of what it looks like, so it's not like hyper edited or anything like that. So this is what the image came out looking like once I was done. Super cute. So now the grand event is open, and I will leave the landmark in the description because it is still very much open for you guys to come and shop and also get your Stamped Miss calendar. So this is where my booth is placed. You will not miss it. It's bright purple, beautiful and girly. Just make your way right over there and you can get yourself the first annual Dream Girl Stamped advent calendar. So it's so cute. Absolutely love the way everything came out. It wasn't as difficult as I anticipated, but I feel like it's because I knew exactly how I wanted to structure it, so it wasn't too hard to execute it. So now I'm just coming up to the booth and I'm going to test out the group gift and see if that works. Yes, I absolutely love it. I hope you are enjoying Vlogmas so far and you enjoyed this video. Please make sure you like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.